All right, so good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to wherever you all may be, and welcome to a sketchbook tour that kind of should have been done a long time ago, but we're going to do it now because I just remembered I had some of these, and while packing up a couple of things, I wanted to showcase this little beauty because this particular sketchbook marks the time where I decided to go big, which means I started drawing on bigger paper and bigger canvases, which gave me a lot more confidence in drawing in general, which, you know, is very much needed in this world. So this is a Strathmore Bristol board sketch pad. It has 20 sheets. These sheets are massive. These are 14 by 17 sheets, and you can get these just about anywhere. You can get them on Amazon. I bought this one from Hobby Lobby and it was 20 bucks. Well, not really, because I got it for 12 because 40% off. So let's just go ahead and get started. So the first piece we have is these are these are enemy types for my main set of characters that I've been working on for a while. These are some of the arch nemesis for each of my characters. Each one is supposed to contrast / complement my 5 main characters. These are all vamps. That's the name I gave them as a group, and this one actually is kind of a vampire, so the vamp term is kind of funny. So it's just a little demonstration of what I could do. This is the biggest character, so I wanted to start with him first, and then I just worked my way around and got everybody together in this nice composition. The line work needed some actual work, but it's something that I really enjoyed doing in total, and it was just a fun piece of my mind that I've literally put down the paper. So there's that one here. And next we have this is Spider-Ham. You may or may not be able to tell, but yeah, this is Spider-Ham. This is Peter Porker. Yes, this is from a universe where Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, was, you know, a pig. Well, actually, he was a radioactive spider. He was a spider that got bitten by a radioactive pig. I don't know. Continuity is fun. So this is how this one worked. I basically ended up experimenting with a lot of lighting and some ink washes as well. This is when I really started to get into basically drawing with ink and painting with ink a little bit as well. And you'll see a little bit more of that as we go on. But this one overall was very fun. This was when I was losing some of my red ink. This was before I got watercolor, and yeah, this one does take me back a little bit. It was fun. This was not the original pose I wanted, but this is what I got, and yeah, it was satisfying. I really liked it. Really did enjoy it. All right, on to the next one. So we have Eddie Brock / Venom. I just kind of wanted to do this half-faced one because it was the Venom movie is coming out, and I was kind of excited for it, even though the movie itself was kind of bad. You know, it's just it wasn't bad, but you know, you want to be hyped for a movie, but you know it's gonna suck. But that's kind of all this is, and I really like the black ink that I used around here. It was a lot rougher around the edges, quite literally. So I had to go around and make some adjustments with a whiteout pen and some color correction as well. Well, some correction fluid, and that's how this one came to be. This one's really fun. Also, brushwork right here, if you can tell, because yeah, I was getting into painting back then. So we have here, this is 3 characters. So we have Darkseid from DC Comics, as well as Grail, his daughter, along with Big Barda. I drew her in this outfit because This was the first outfit that I saw, and at the time the outfit that I actually like her in is just too complicated to draw. It would have took a lot longer, and I would have messed it up at the time. I wasn't confident in doing that, but this is kind of the whole reason of getting the sketchbook. So yeah, this is that. There's a lot of Kirby crackle around the Omega symbol here, as well as all around Darkseid's eyes and Grail's eyes as well, or at least I tried. Once I figured out how to properly make Kirby crackle, my effects abilities kind of just skyrocketed, because that is a nice effect to make for a lot of designs basically. And once you study Jack Kirby's art, you'll actually see a lot more of it, and hence the term Kirby crackle. All right, so on to the next one. So this one came about a few months too late, but as you can tell, it's Black Panther. I wanted to do a small headshot, and then once I finished the headshot, I kind of added in this hand, just a little bit of that hand right there. Hand isn't as much as black as it should be. It's a little lighter than I wanted it to, but that was kind of me experimenting with different lightings, as well as trying to control the ink a little bit better than what I did. So that's where this came from. And then I added the background and brushwork here going down his back and shoulder, made it a lot more like an actual suit when it was weaved, if it were to be weaved with fabric. Hard to explain. Not really, but kind of. But anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and move on. So this one is a double piece, half portrait, half full body pose of my character Gwen. She's a character I've been working on for years now, along with a couple of other characters that you saw in the first page of the sketchbook. And yeah, I really liked drawing this one. Coloring, as you all should know, is not my strong suit, so I ended up just coloring this in with Sharpie, which could have been much better. I feel that I could have added an ink wash here to actually an ink wash of orange, but at the time I don't think I had any orange ink. I should have bought some, but coulda, shoulda, woulda, and all that good stuff. I really love this pose here. I think I made her a little bit too disproportionate. At the time, I had a particular style that I wanted to go with, and in reflection, it looks a bit disproportionate. So yeah, but overall, this is probably one of my favorite ones, and we haven't even gotten through all of these yet. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and move on. So there's a long and very neat story about this one, but this actually picks up a lot better on the camera than I thought it would. So this is my character Alexandrina, another character I'm working on. I'm actually writing a book with her right now. Anyway, I wanted her to have a more conquered, a more warrior stance like this right here, where she's standing screaming at insert enemy type here, just like in the corner. And I really liked what I did here. The reason why it looks like this is because I got angry at the end result, or at least where I was going. So I balled it up and nearly threw it away. I didn't throw it away yet, but there was a lot of self-restraint. There was a lot of I cannot talk. There was a lot of self-restraint that kept me from throwing this one away, actually. But overall, I really liked the finished product and the idea that I went with. So instead of trying to throw it away, I ended up just taking some of the elements and redesigning them, because the weapons scattered about, as well as the enemy types, well, these, I call them demons for now, I really like that. So I ended up reworking everything, and we got it. Yeah, terrible. we get this one here. This one was much more satisfying and a lot more gruesome. Instead, so I opted for just 2 enemy types, as well as her looking straight on into a cave, as if there was a demon or another enemy coming at her, or she was looking. And I really enjoyed this one, especially designing her axe and her overall cloak. I think I made her shoulders a little bit too broad, but I ended up fixing that later on when I went to redo it. It was fun, and it got me again out of my comfort zone when it came to shading, as well as adding in dark textures at the time, which this moon doesn't really help at all. You know, it doesn't help. It doesn't help at all. This thing doesn't help at all. But I liked it, so I ended up keeping it mostly. I say keeping it, but I didn't really keep it. I kept it for the most part. And yeah, I think that's kind of it. So let's just go ahead and get back in here. So on to the next one. So this is another portrait of Alexandrina. This time I was testing out skin tones and portrait structure. Got the portrait structure right, but the skin tone didn't really work well. I had recently bought at the time some water. What were they? Water. They're in this box here. I don't want to get them. They were some water-based brush pens. That's what it was. And one had a skin tone that I really appreciated, and I actually used that a lot more in the other. Well, I don't have that one. Crap. Okay. Well, anyway. I actually remember drawing this one, and then we had to leave to visit my cousin in the hospital at the time. Don't worry, she's fine, but yeah, then I came back and I knocked this out in like the next hour and a half. So overall, I really enjoyed this one, and I enjoyed drawing her armor once again, because the chainmail here is extremely, how would you say that, you know, complicated. That's the word, complicated. So yeah, there's that one. On to the next one. So here we have, oh yeah, so this is the back of, I did a couple of things on the back of some of these. This was just random pen sketch and a little bit of cross hatching, a lot of cross hatching actually. And this was a slight exercise that I used to cross hatch between the lines of some of my my notebooks while I was in college at the time. It was actually a nice exercise to learn pen control, line quality, and everything else of that nature, if you can see it. I highly recommend anybody who wants to learn cross hatching to do stuff like this. All you would need to do, draw some lines, either parallel, my fingers are bad, either parallel like this or a little bit inclined like that, and then just cross hatch all the way on. And once you do that, you should have a lot more control over your wrist, as well as line quality also. So on to the next one, actually on to the next page, or at least next few pages. We have this first doodle that I ended up doing. This was a pencil doodle, and then I turned it into a statue portrait, and things of that nature. So once I finished the head here, I kind of added some textures to get the rock together. And then once I got the rock together, I just kept adding and adding and adding over the course of, like, what was it? I think I did this over the course of about 2 hours. And yeah, I kind of got this, and I did a lot of smudging to get wow, can I? Okay, cool. So that still works. That caution everybody, if you ever want to do pencil stuff, remember that pencils don't dry. So there's that one. Here's the next one. I kind of did the same exact process. It was a pencil doodle as well, and this one I'm reminded of the Martian Manhunter from Justice League. He had a head in his character design. His head was shaped something like this, so I ended up bringing that into the fold, and I ended up using it a lot more. And I have like 5 lines here, but they look like teeth apparently. So yeah, that's how that works. So here's another one, and all of these were kind of supposed to fit slightly, and I like how I did that. That was absolutely not on purpose. I should say it is, but it's not. So here's another one that is just this was a heart, basically a stone heart, and once I finished it, it was kind of touching. I don't know why I would say that, but yeah, I ended up using an eraser that I had that was at the time wrapped around one of my lead holders, and I just swapped to get this swapping effect, and that really turned out very well. So I was really happy that this was the one that I didn't like the most in regards to these 4 that I ended up doing, but this one it felt different, you know. I don't know how to explain it properly, but if I can't explain it, just go on to the next one. Alright, so here is the next one. This one kind of followed the same vein as the other pencil drawing that you just saw, but this one was more of an organ system. I don't know why I would say it like that, but I did. I designed all of the bottom of this in the exact same way as the other one, and now that I say that, do these connect? No, never mind. Never mind. I don't know why I tried that. That was a waste. But anyway, so that's kind of all of this right here. I don't know what this one is, honestly. I could say it's an alien, but I have I have no clue. That's the whole purpose of doodles, I guess. But you know, it's kind of funny. All right, so on to the next one. Here we have Spawn, aka Al Simmons from Image Comics. He is my second favorite comic book character, so I really had to draw him. My first one is Batman, but I've drawn him many times, and I'm kind of bored of that. But you can never really get bored of drawing Batman, you know? Not really. But I wanted to draw him, and I wanted to test out some green ink that I bought as well. And I think it turned out very well. And you can see it around his eyes as well, too. But, you know, once you start getting close up, it kind of gets muffy. But I was able to experiment with shading / highlighting the color black. Because you can't add shadow to black, but you can add color to it. So that's what I ended up doing, and I really, really loved doing it. It was very fun. But one other thing, this was the first one that I did, and it was supposed to be him holding ectoplasm in his hand, and it was going to glow here. But I kind of changed it because I did not like where it was going. I kept it though because I liked how a lot of the suit was translated properly. Despite you may or may not be able to fully see it, but that's just how my vision works. So yeah, that was fun. And on to the next one. So this little guy here is this is Batman the Dawnbreaker. Like I just said, you can never not draw Batman cool at the time. This is probably one of my least favorites of this sketchbook right now because of the coloring that I did for it. This was all done in India ink, and I ended up combining some of the black with the green to make this dark green. You know, that's how colors work, but it didn't work the best way possible. So instead, I just it's these types of drawings that make me say I should have left it at the sketch portion, but I had to see it to fruition. I had to see it to the finish, because if I didn't, it probably would have plagued my mind a lot more than it should have. So yeah. Alright, so this is one of my favorites actually. This is Elsa after I saw the first trailer for Frozen 2. Still haven't seen the movie, don't spoil it yet. This is after she climbs the rock in the movie. I liked it. I really liked it. I liked the water, and I liked Elsa at the time, honestly. So I ended up drawing it, and this is supposed to be her ice blasting and freezing some of this water, which turns into this. I had to fill up dead space, so that's kind of what all this is. Still, it was good. I loved it, and I was also able to practice my shading and rock texture on this giant boulder right here. So I had a lot of practice here. The one thing that I honestly never got to doing was coloring this one, because at the time I didn't have many watercolors, but now I do, and I may actually go back and color this one, or I will scan it in and do that digitally. Don't hold me to that though, but I may do it. I like that idea. Alright, so on to the next one. So here we have Spider-Gwen. If anybody who's been here since the beginning, you would all know that this one, along with the Miles Morales piece, Miles Morales / Venom, these were all in the first video that I ever put on this channel. Which, good times, you know, very good times. So yeah, this is basically just a picture of Spider-Gwen. I love the web design I put here. I had no idea at the time. I had no idea how to make a spider web, and then, you know, I looked on Google Images, and lo and behold, that's how a spider web looks. So yeah, one thing that I did not like, that while I was coloring this piece, a large glop of this is magenta ink, not red, magenta. Basically it dripped all the way down here, and now I had to fill that in with I had to cover that with correction fluid, which kind of worked, but you know, I don't. Now that I pointed out, you all may not be able to tell. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, this is how that one works. And as you already saw, the Miles Morales and Venom piece I really did enjoy. It was one of my favorites at the time, simply because I had just finished the Into the Spider-Verse film. And yeah, I actually saw it late. I saw it in March of 2019, after it came out 3 months later, or earlier. So yeah, that's how that works. For this Venom piece, I kind of didn't focus on any highlights for him. I added these little squiggly lines, which kind of help, but not really. Along with Miles's web pattern here. This kind of it's kind of all over the place. I honestly think I finished. These are 3 days apart. I honestly feel like I finished this one before this one, but maybe not. I don't know. Weird. But as you see, this cost me almost the last of my red ink, at the time at least, and then I upgraded, got some more watercolors, and I actually may do a repaint of this one, just in the future. Don't hold me to that though, please. So, on to the next one. This one is actually about 5 in 1, and it was just a giant circle that I filled in, and then it kind of did this thing. So it's supposed to come out from the center, and then it's supposed to go around. So this is kind of a donut. Exactly. These are as well, because they come out from the center, then they go out like that. There's a mathematical term for it too, and I don't care to learn it. But this was when I first got my calligraphy pens, and I was experimenting with calligraphy, well, dip pens in general, and I wanted to test my this was hatching. This is my hatching, and then cross hatching is over here a little bit. I wanted to test that, as well as my ability to create textures at the time, because I was going through my first set of drawing classes to help me out with that. This was very fun, honestly, because of the cross-hatching methods that I was learning while I was working on this piece. I worked on this piece over the course of a couple of days, and I actually finished it on Pi Day, March 14th, 2019. Like that. But because this was hatching, it involved a lot of breaking my wrist, because that was painful. But overall, I like how this turned out, and somehow I didn't cut this out, or none of these, and turn these into actual things that you hang up stickers, or that too. Very, very, very funny. So, on to the last piece, for now at least, because I have no idea where the other one is. There were 19 of those that I showed you, unless my math is just absolutely off. There were 19. This one, however, is my Cosmic Girl. And I was just experimenting with more inks. This was blue and green, which made aquamarine. I think that's the name of it. I don't know. And as you see, she has an outer glow along with some of these little galaxies as well. I just circle on a correction pen because my whiteout pens are saviors at times, you know. And I really like this. I wanted to do something with the back of this this hardcover. I didn't draw on the back of this though. I want to do something with this, so I ended up using it to create a person with dark skin characters, because, you know, we can't get enough of those always. But I really like the overall result. I could have made her hair a lot more wavy, as well as added some more darkness to it. Usually on camera it does show up as what I wanted it to, but once you look at it up close and actually examine it, it looks a lot different than what you want it to be. But it's not something that you can really control sometimes, because everybody has different eyes, usually. Don't quote me on that one. So that is it. I honestly think if I can somehow find that other one, because again, there were 19 of these in here when there was a pack of 20. Unless it was the pic. It wasn't. No, that was in the other picture. I mean, that was in my other sketchbook. Man, I really want to find it, because I think I did find it, and then I got rid of it almost immediately. Here's my receipt that I keep, because I never write the dates on all of these. This was a little thumbnail that I wanted to draw of Shazam at the time, and you have the little, it would have been lightning zipping through his chest and back, and then coming out his chest as if he was doing an Iron Man style unibeam. Man, I didn't go with that idea though. I went with something else that was a little easier for me at the time. I might go ahead and do something like that now, but I don't know. I don't know, not fully. It was alright. So yeah, let me just close this up and put this thing back on here, because this has fallen out multiple times and I've had to clean this up. You don't want to do that, guys and girls. You really don't. So, there you go. So, that was the end of my, third sketchbook tour of 750 to 5,000. I kind of should have already done. But this is the end so far, and I really hope you all made it to the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all learned something, because I kind of didn't teach anything. And I really hope you all would like this video, share it with somebody that you really like, and you want to show them my old pieces and old drawings as well. And tell me which one you liked in the comments below, or just tell me your thoughts on the video and everything of that nature. And this is the part where I blank out, because I forgot everything else I needed to ask you all. Yeah, if I remember, I will add it in, but I'm probably not going to. So Until next time, everybody, I'm going to see you all later, and you all enjoy your day.